After years of speculation and not knowing, we finally got an answer, guys. Grogu was saved by Jar Jar from Order 66. Well, not exactly, you know what I mean, but Ahmed Best makes his return finally to Star Wars, to official Star Wars, leaving the character of Jar Jar behind, now moving forward with the Jedi Master Kelleran Beck. Of course, this kind of went under the radar. I was aware of Kelleran Beck back in the day. In 2020, I think, the series started. It was a mini-series of a live-action kids show where Kelleran Beck would train younglings, aka kids would participate in a live-action course where they would perform some challenges. It was interesting, but I didn't see this coming. I didn't see that Kelleran Beck would make it into the official Star Wars canon lore by saving Grogu and giving us fans the relief of that answer. However, when he saves Grogu, he then goes on to tell Grogu that I have some friends that are gonna help us. And then they proceed to leave Coruscant and go for God knows where. This is what the video is about. Of course, you come here for the answers and I try to give them to you because I think I have deduced whom those friends, quote-unquote, might be. I think most importantly, there is a singular friend who knows Ahmed Best really, really well. We're going to talk about it later on in the video, but the moment those doors opened, I mean, it was just the most delightful cameo ever because I was expecting to be a major character and it's going to be like, oh, he's back. But to see Ahmed Best back in Star Wars after everything he has suffered through with post-prequels and post-Jar Jar, it's really sad to see these actors get downtrodden by some toxic fans. Thankfully, he is back. He is now better than ever. And not only is he back, his character, Kelleran Beck, the Jedi Master, seems to be one of the most formidable Jedi, because you saw those other Jedi trying to protect Grogu were defeated by 2-3 clones. Wave after wave of clones were coming after Kelleran Beck, and he was defeating them left and right, until, of course, it became overwhelming. So let's start by saying why specifically did Kelleran Beck save Grogu, and where is he taking him? So Kelleran Beck was nicknamed the Sabered Hand because of his skill with the lightsaber. As you saw in this episode, he was a Jedi Master that supervised the training of Padawans. This means that Kelleran Beck did not see Grogu for the first time. If you remember, Ahsoka said in The Mandalorian Season 2 that she had never seen Grogu before, even though every Jedi resided within the Jedi Temple. During Ahsoka's apprenticeship inside the Jedi Temple, there was Grogu too. This was very confusing to now know that Ahsoka never saw Grogu actually. In an interview with StarWars.com, Ahmed Best told them that his character is basically the Dean of the Jedi Temple. He was focused on training the next generation of Jedi. This goes perfectly in line with Kelleran Beck, who is trying to save young Jedi from Order 66 and specifically waited for Grogu up in the elevator and tried to rescue him. Probably had some communications with the Jedi below who were sending him above. Although Kelleran Beck did not appear in the prequels, Ahmed Best played Jar Jar at that time, but if you remember, now Ahmed Best has played 3 Star Wars characters, not just 2. First is Jar Jar, then in Attack of the Clones, he plays a bystander inside the club where Anakin and Obi-Wan try to search for the assassin. Now he is playing a Jedi Master as well. A Jedi Master who seemingly was specifically interested in saving Grogu from Order 66. Now, given that Kelleran Beck is particularly skilled with the lightsaber, it makes sense that he would be one of the rare Order 66 survivors. We even saw this in the episode. He was so proficient in his training, Kelleran Beck, some backstory for him, he was proficient in all 7 lightsaber forms, including Xian. That form specifically incorporates the swatting of the blaster bolts back at the enemies who are firing on a Jedi. This put in tandem with him having 2 lightsabers now, picking up the dead Jedi's lightsaber. This is why he killed clone after clone by not even slashing at them, just deflecting their bolts, and one of them was killed by using the Force. His title, given by Ahmed Best as the Dean of the Jedi Temple, gives him a natural indication of saving younglings or Padawans from Order 66, and it's not surprising that he survived and took a youngling with him. However, now with the episode yesterday, new rumors have started to emerge. Fans are keen on one specific speculation that Grogu is somewhat particularly important in the Star Wars canon. Even decades later, after Order 66, we see that Imperial remnants are targeting Grogu for some sort of cloning experiments with Dr. Pershing. You see, in Star Wars, only two members of Grogu's race have ever been seen. That is Yoda and Yaddle. This kind of means that they are extremely rare. It is possible that by Kelleran Beck saving Grogu, he believed that he is securing the future of an entire species. By his logic, Yaddle disappeared years ago during the Phantom Menace era, and Yoda was perhaps killed in Order 66. He didn't know that Yoda survived. Therefore, Grogu is the only one of his race to be alive still. That's why he is particularly keen on saving Grogu. At this point, we know that there are other younglings that Darth Vader killed inside the Jedi Temple. We know that Reva was alive trying to escape the Jedi Temple as well during this time, which I suspect Kelleran Beck knew this. And how do they escape? By using the Nubian starship, the personal starship that Padme used, and one other character, Jar Jar, the Naboo representative, used during the prequels. This suggests a link between not only Padme but Jar Jar as well. And how fantastic, how crazy would it be that these friends, quote unquote, that are going to help Kelleran Beck and Grogu, that they are traveling to, are going to be Padme and Jar Jar. At this point in the story, immediately after Order 66, Padme is still alive. Remember that in Revenge of the Sith, it still took some convincing by Obi-Wan for Padme to actually understand that Anakin had turned evil. Therefore, there's a short amount of time where Padme is still alive until she dies after her encounter with Anakin on Mustafar. But I don't think Padme is really important in this storyline. I think that who Kelleran Beck will meet will be specifically Jar Jar Binks. Think about it. Ahmed Best is up for redemption. This is what Lucasfilm has been saying with this episode. Ahmed Best has come back after all that backlash from the prequels to be redeemed now as a Jedi hero, saving one of the most important characters in Grogu. And who would be the best person to wait them on the other side? I believe that they're traveling to Naboo. If that person is Jar Jar Binks, and Ahmed Best played both Kelleran Beck and voiced Jar Jar Binks as well, that would be the most magnanimous moment in Star Wars history. Just think about how crazy and how beautiful of an arc that would be to this entire Ahmed Best story. For years now, we have been clamoring for more information on Jar Jar's future. What happened after him, after the Empire took over? We don't see Jar Jar in the original trilogy. We only have a reference in a book about him having completely failed. How beautiful of a closure would it be for us to see Jar Jar do the wrong thing in episode 2 and giving emergency powers to Palpatine, but in the end redeeming himself after Revenge of the Sith and helping not only Kelleran Beck survive, but Grogu as well. This is why I think both Kelleran Beck and Grogu are traveling next to Naboo. I hope we see that in episode 5, and they're meeting with Jar Jar Binks. Of course, leave all of your thoughts down below in the comments. I would love to know what you guys think. Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you enjoyed, leave a thumbs up down below, subscribe for dailies. Now you can have an awesome day, Star Wars fans. I'll see you in the next video, and may the Force be with you. Until then.